Okay, everybody, David Traylor of Traylor Law Firm, criminal defense lawyer, and I'm talking to you today about should you cooperate with law enforcement if they want you to act as an undercover operative or informant or someone who tries to set up or help or assist with drug buys, undercover drug buys or transactions. Especially if they're coming to you. Well, the only way they would come to you with this is if you're not a police department employee. If you're under investigation or charges for some kind of drug activity on your own, and they're saying, well, we want to put in a good word for you with the judge, or we can look into dropping charges against you or going easier on you, because you cooperated. And they'll say all kinds of things, but the bottom line on this is we're going to help you answer those questions. Really, the thing to do is talk with someone like me, someone who's been through this and knows the situation, and can give you good input and advice on whether you should cooperate or not. I think generally the answer is no, but we'll go through all the things you should consider. I shouldn't say all the things. There are probably other things that could be added to this list, and if you think of them, put them in the comments below. But we're going to go through a good set of considerations to consider when you're making these decisions. Very important decision. So, typically this happens in possession-controlled substance cases, manufacturing and delivery. Usually, if you're accused of buying and selling drugs yourself, that's when they're coming to you and wanting to get you to roll over on other people that you've dealt with, maybe someone higher up, or maybe they'll introduce you to people of their own that you've never met before and try to get you to help with that. That's a difficult situation to be in. So let's break this down. First of all, what is your risk on something like this? What is your risk? The police departments that I've dealt with, the law enforcement agencies that I've dealt with, always try to minimize this question. You put yourself in this world in the first place. If a person says, well, I really hesitate to do that. It seems dangerous. I'd worry about retribution, repercussions. I'd worry about my family. It seems too risky. And they'll say things like, well, you put yourself in this world to begin with. You want to get out now? I mean, you can really help yourself. And they minimize the risk of doing it. Although they're wanting to use you when it's something that they could just go in and do themselves, you would think. I mean, maybe they feel like it's easier to use someone who's already in that world. I don't know. Anyway, what's the risk? I guess another consideration is, have you even been arrested? Do you actually have criminal charges? Are they bluffing with the criminal charges? I've had officers bluff about charges, and I've had them bluff about increasing the charges, or about doing things like going after civil forfeiture of assets, or sending the case up to the feds instead of keeping it local. There's all sorts of things they can promise and all sorts of things they can threaten. And just as in a lot of different situations, you have to be careful about what you believe, about what you're believing that people are telling you. The police don't play fair. They sometimes play dirty. They often play dirty. They don't feel bad about getting people they deem as criminals to trust them on something that's not true. So you got to be very careful about that. So have you been arrested? Have you been charged? How serious are your charges? These things tend to be a lot more appealing to people who are sitting on first or second degree felonies and are risking 99 to life or up to 20 years. And especially if they're saying, well, if you don't cooperate, they're going to hit you with full force. Not sure that's ever going to be true. Sometimes it is. That's why you got to get someone who kind of can help you answer those questions. How serious are your charges, and what's the likelihood that they're going to go after the full range of punishment on you? Another big consideration: can they even prove their case against you? If they've got weaknesses in their case, you've got to consider that when you're making decisions like these. You don't want to line yourself up for this kind of risk or this kind of participation in something when it's a case you can beat, or it's a case that you can get a prosecutor to drop, or any number of outcomes. You can get the cases, you can get the charges reduced, perhaps. Sometimes even get knocked down to a misdemeanor. So how serious are the cases against you? Can they prove their case against you? Another one, did they violate police procedure in their search, their seizure, their arrest, their stop? Anything that they did they violate police procedure in such a way that your rights were violated and they can have their evidence suppressed, or some other remedy, or they just can't, they can't prove their case. Very important to consider that. It's very important to look at the facts and the evidence, if possible, before making these decisions. And they may try to put some kind of time pressure on you to make this decision. You gotta tell us before you walk out of this room whether you want to cooperate or not. And so it's important to kind of understand the game and have prepared. Not prepared means do it before. Pre-considered all these things so you have an idea of what you're going to do or what your decisions are going to be before you're put on the spot to make that decision. So, very important. What is their sales pitch? What are they saying? Does it make sense? Are they offering you anything concrete, or just words, just promises in the wind? What are you being asked to do? I mean, how serious is your commitment to this? Are you just, you getting on the phone, or are you getting out in person and meeting these people? Are you going to wear a wire? Are you going to go into places where you won't be protected? Are you going to be in a car with somebody? How much risk are you going to be at? Are you going to be paid to do it? Well, they're going to say, well, your payment is us giving you consideration on your charges to treat you better, to go easy on you or dismiss the charges. I'm in Deep Ellum right now, and it looks like there's some sort of police activity that's blocking a roadway. I hope nothing serious has occurred, but it kind of looks like maybe something has. So we've already covered, is it dangerous to you? Is it dangerous to your family? Does it affect your ability to be a provider, a father, a husband? Does it affect your ability to make a living, to earn income in the way you normally do? I've seen this kind of situation where they're asking a person to work so much, such long hours, that it looks like a traffic accident. I wonder if it's a shooting, though, involved and caused the accident. Not enough police for that. It looks like just a traffic accident. Are they asking for such a serious time commitment that it just chews up, your days? I know one where a guy was working in the morning on his business, and then all afternoon, every day of the week, he was being sent into these situations that were just, a total loss of his value of time to be able to do the things he needs to do in life. It's like you shut down half of your life to cooperate. That's a big price to pay, especially if they come back in and some of the things we're going to talk about later, if they do some of these other things to you. For instance, saying, well, it wasn't enough. We're going to have to go ahead and prosecute you despite everything you did, all the time you spent, all the risk you put yourself in and your family in. We're going to go ahead and prosecute you. That would be a very hard path to find yourself on. Is it better for you to refuse? I think the blanket answer to this question is generally yes, it's better for you to refuse. But you have to very carefully consider that, because there are times when it would be far better to participate and get that brass ring that's being offered if it's really worth something. Are they making concrete promises, and are they willing to put those promises in writing? Do they have the authority to make those promises? Can they grant you the things that they're talking about doing for you? Does it need to have a prosecutor involved or a judge involved to get that done? Are the promises illusory? Are they deceptive? Are they vague? Are they worthwhile? Will they find ways to back out of the things that they promise, or will they find ways to extend your time commitment? Make you think you're going to do 1 bust or 2 busts, and then suddenly you're having to do 5, and then you wonder whether it's ever going to end. Do they even realize the dangerousness of what they're asking you to do? Sometimes they don't. A lot of times they kind of minimize that, and then someone ends up getting shot or hurt. The other thing is, it's hard for you to be comfortable in situations. If say you're out there dealing drugs, well, you're in control of your setup. You're in control of your environment to some degree. You're at least half in control of it. But you can kind of create a set of circumstances where you feel safer about what you're doing than you might otherwise feel. But if you're working undercover or helping as an operative, you lose control of all that. You have to rely on them, and you may think, well, these are professionals. They have all the equipment. They have all the gear, and they're going to protect me. But, man, you never want to totally turn over your protection to other people. And especially people who don't always make good decisions, who aren't always as prepared as you would hope. You don't want to be in a situation thinking, oh, wait, this isn't how it should be. I'm at risk here. Oh, and then hoping everything's going to be okay. Because if it goes bad, you can point to several bad decisions or one big bad decision that put you at severe risk. But it's too late after you've died or when you're lying in a hospital. So there's other things you have to be careful about. Just the setup is not something you're in control of. The other thing is, this is also really important, and it lies in big part with how good your attorney is. Can you get the same or better outcome without cooperating? Especially the part about the better outcome, but even the same outcome. If you can get the same outcome without cooperating, why in the world would you ever do that? And if you can get a better outcome by than you would by cooperating, then you should definitely, absolutely never cooperate. And the other thing is, would you be committing yourself to some sort of plea bargain that otherwise you might not have to enter? Are you committing yourself to a certain outcome? Would you be better off fighting your case? So important. Will anybody outside of their police department even care about your contributions? Is the prosecutor really going to care? Is the judge really going to care? And like I said before, what happens if you work undercover for months and they back out? They say it's not enough. And finally, what does your lawyer advise you to do? So I want you to kind of think about all those things if you're in that situation, and call someone, get a meeting with somebody and say, hey, look, here's what I'm facing, here's what they're wanting. And you may have to do it pretty quick because they're going to put all kinds of time pressure on you. But don't be as concerned with the time pressure as you are about making a good decision. Because a lot of times that time pressure is fake, it's manufactured. It's kind of like when a salesman says, hey, you've got 10 hours to make this deal, or the price is going to go back up. Whereas you generally know that they're going to offer you that price no matter what. When you come back, you can still get that price. I mean, most times that's the case. Like I said, there's always exceptions. There's always times when you might be missing the boat on an opportunity if you don't comply with their time deadlines. But I still believe it's better to make a quality decision in these circumstances, as important as this stuff is, than it is to make a fast decision on the spot, because a fast decision will often be a bad decision. So think about those things. Call us with any questions about it, and set up a meeting with us if you have this situation in your world, and we'll charge you an appropriate price for advising you on all this stuff. But something we're happy to do. And the bottom line in this deal is, we're looking to help people. We're looking to help people put their lives back to normal when something happens in a criminal realm in your life. So if this is going on, if you're facing this, give us a call and we'll try to help you out. I always close out my videos by saying it's not a free country. It's only a free country if you're not in jail. It's only a free country if you're not in jail. So stay out of trouble. Stay out of the crosshairs. Don't get the police on your tail or interested in you. But if you do, call us and we'll see what we can do to help you. Take care, everybody.